Welcome to a new Comic-Con themed episode of Comic Book Nation. I am not Kofi Outlaw once more, but props to our boy who got to host a Star Trek panel over at San Diego Comic-Con and is busy doing all the tappas. So we'll hear a bunch of stuff. And of course, because of this Comic-Con themed episode, anything could break at any time. We got to be on the ball. But I am Matt Aguilar. And of course, we are joined by the ever amazing Janelle Wheeler.
Oh, ever amazing. I'll take it. I love that.
And the absolutely delightful Nick Valdez.
Oh, howdy, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
My intros do justice here.
Yeah, they're amazing, but we need to call out this collection of cards behind
Oh,
Nick.
I know, for real.
This is unbelievable.
Nick's background is one of my favorite things, like, that happens on comic book.
I'm sure you just feel joy. Like you walk into your office and you're like, joy. Like,
yeah. It was definitely the breath of, oh man, I'm already twisting my words here.
We're live. This is wonderful. And now people know we're not lying about live.
This is very true. We have a ton to get to today. Ironically, we're going to start with something that everyone knows. I know jack about. However, I will say we're going to start with the Game of Thrones verse, and we're going to start with the House of the Dragon.
Yes.
Is that epic enough? That sounds
yes.
good.
Yeah.
Very epic.
Yes.
Getting my DM voice ready for a new campaign, right? So we're going to talk about this. This is, of course, the prequel to Game of Thrones, and a show that I just never hopped on, not out of any whatever spite or anything like that. Like, I didn't dislike it. I just never hopped on that train, right? And by the time I kind of thought about it, it was like far gone, and I was like, screw it, I'm done. I'll wait till it's all finished up or whatever. And now we have a prequel series, and damn it if the prequel series trailer doesn't look really flipping good. And I'm kind of like, okay, so this is a prequel series set like years and years and years before. Is this like the perfect thing to Janelle? Nick, I'm not sure how invested you are in the Game of Thrones universe. I know Janelle has watched the shows. Is this a place to start? Like, is this a newbie friendly place for me to jump in?
Yeah, I would think so. I've watched the 8 seasons of the show. I had as many problems with the final season as everyone else did. But the main thing that's quite hilarious to me is that, when Game of Thrones originally came out, one of the big things was, oh, where are all the dragons? And House of Dragons is like, oh, here's a dragon. Here's another dragon. We have a whole house of them. So I think this is the perfect time to jump in. I don't know any of the lore either. I sat through 8 seasons. I can tell you maybe 2 things about it. So I'm ready. I'm ready for this one.
The lore is really easy to figure out because of the uber nerds that we adore and love so much, who make content on YouTube with quick little guides and all of these awesome things. Today, I literally went on to New Rockstars and I watched a video of the breakdown of the family lines of the House of Targaryen. And it explained I watched it. It was maybe like a 4-minute long video. I know who every single character now is and how they relate to our peeps that we know from Game of Thrones. I am such a sucker for the Targaryen, House of Targaryen. I am 100% Targaryen. I'm so excited that they're exploring this house specifically. A couple of these actors look fantastic. I have to give a shout out to Matt Smith because he is my boo thing. Like, I adore him so much ever since Doctor Who. I'm a Whovian, so he looks stellar in this role, as he is in every role. This man is such a good actor, guys. Like, I feel like he can do no wrong. Like, him in The Crown is unbelievable as well. So yeah, I'm fired up. I love it because there was like a flash of dragon fire when I said that. I'm so fired up. I really loved Game of Thrones. I have not read the books, and I still enjoyed that series and that entire thing, aside from the last season, so much. And yeah, I think this is going to be really, really, really good. And I highly encourage people to jump on, even if they didn't watch Game of Thrones, because I think it will be its own beast.
Well, I was going to ask because, so you mentioned that you went and like looked at all the connections. You've seen the original show. So you went and like watched the video and looked at all the connections. For someone like me who's coming in and knows essentially like 4 terms Targaryens is one.
Yeah.
Starks is another. Like I know some of the families because you just hear about them. I know who Jon Snow is, right?
Right.
So I have like tent poles, but that's just because there's like a ton of merchandise out about them, right? So should I do any of that research?
No, you don't need Jon Snow. You don't need the other houses. I think Baratheon is the only one that they were saying anything about in this guide. Like this is heart and soul civil war between Targaryen family.
Okay.
So you need to know Targaryen family and lore if you want to, but they definitely explain it. To me, they explain it even in the trailer. Like you have a king, you have his daughter, and you have his brother, and they all want to be next in succession of the crown. And then there's another shakeup, which I came to understand in this guide, that like there's other children that want to fight for it too. So there's like just gonna be fighting.
I think that's why the trailer worked for me. That it was so simple, like not simple in a bad way, but like straightforward. It was kind of like what Kofi talks about all the time, right? Of like having a straightforward premise and just building off of that. And so I got it immediately. It was like, okay, this is digestible. I can deal with this. And it was
and dragons.
Yes, exactly. Like instead of like 5 families to keep track of in Game of Thrones, there's just the one.
And there's nods. There's going to be nods to these other families. And there's going to be call tos that will make the Uber fans really excited. But I think at its core, you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, so I think I'm in. I think I'm joining this. So between this and Star Trek, I'm really going outside of my comfort zone here.
Do it. Now's the time, Matt. Now's the time.
Now's the time. So we're going to move into, and by the way, just a tease for our later thing. So while we, of course, are live before Marvel has their big Hall H panel, we are going to be doing our own predictions later in the show, as well as to what we think we will see. So definitely stick around for that in a little bit. So we will be talking about Marvel. We could not talk about Marvel in the Comic-Con theme show. Well, let's move on to something I'm very excited about. Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves got its big kind of rolling out party here at Comic-Con. So we had a panel, which Kofi actually ran down for us. So you can check that on the site as well, of a full rundown of what happened there. But we also got like posters, and we got character descriptions, and we got synopsis and all this stuff. And then we got the trailer. And here's the thing. Dungeons and Dragons is one of those things that, most of us role-playing fans here, we adore the world and some of the characters and creating our own characters in here. So it's one of those things that after the taste has been kind of moved out of the mouth of the last movie that didn't do so well. It's been a while, a step back from that and all that. It's like a new dawn, but it's one of those things, right, where you got to stick the landing. You got to make sure this is going to capture people's attention, and we got a real shot here, right, to bring this franchise into the movies. And for me anyway, I love this. This was like the perfect mix for me of like fun thief heist type style thing. I don't know why we have to necessarily brand every like ragtag group of adventurers as trying to do the Guardians when like that's been around for eons. So like the Guardians didn't like coin that, guys. Like there was other things that happened outside of that. However, there was a really fun vibe between everybody. Everyone has their kind of showcases some of their abilities and stuff. It was fun. I laughed. I love seeing some of the big creatures and some of the things from the world. I'm in. I'm very excited for this. But what did you guys think?
Like it's tough, right? Like I'm watching the trailer, I'm like, oh, this looks fun. Who knew, right? But Dungeons and Dragons is such like a quote unquote brand that like many of the most popular versions of it are people's unique stories and takes on this world. So I have no idea what to expect from the core of the franchise itself. And just give me like a cool little fantasy romp with a partying, and the whole Guardians thing, like partying, building a party is built into Dungeons and Dragons, right? So if they don't nail that, at least for the movie, then
exactly
why are we doing this? So I'm looking forward to that and seeing how that shakes out.
Okay, so I know nothing about this, and I'm kind of embarrassed about that because I know nothing about Dungeons and Dragons, and it sucks because I really feel like I was made to be a role player. Like I feel like, I mean, I'm like a theater kid. Like I'm a performer. Like, I feel like I would just love this entire world. And I feel like I missed out on something huge in my childhood. So personally, on my level, I am so excited to give this a watch and see if it lights a fire within me to possibly start like D&D and explore something else in my life that I think I'd really love.
Let's freaking go.
Yeah, it seems really inspiring and exciting. And I'm so glad that you let me talk my butt off during House of Targaryen, because I feel stupid that I don't know much about this.
No, that's the thing. I think everyone is in that same boat, because like, as much as you've heard Dungeons and Dragons over the years, like it's like, well, what is it?
What is it? I know nothing.
So
nothing.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
What's cool about this is that the property actually does lend itself to walking this tightrope, right? Because there are things like, we have some excellent coverage of the movie, breaking down key elements that you see, landmarks you see, parts of the world you see, types of characters you see on the website, right? So you can go at it from that angle. There have been a mention of some names that are familiar to longtime players. That said, part of the fun of D&D is that it is a world that you create your own stories in, and you create your own characters in. So while it's the name drops are cool, what Nick said is very accurate. It needs to capture just the fun and, you know, the kind of thrill that is getting to know a core group of characters, having their personalities contrast against each other, set in this really large fantasy backdrop. Then you can start working in all the other stuff. But just like what we talk about the MCU all the time, right? The Easter eggs are fun. They're fine. But at the core of it, I got to care about the people at the center of it. And
still
if I don't care about them, right. Yeah. It can't just be a long comics database. It needs to be a show, or it needs to be a movie. And so here's the same thing. You know, the fact that, like, you know, Neverwinter and like some of these things are mentioned, you're like, oh, that's awesome. And that is. But also, for fans who don't know anything about that, I just want them to come in and embrace and see how cool this world is, and embrace the fun of the characters, and just have some characters like. I love that, like, oh my God, I'm blanking on the guy's name from Bridgerton.
Chris Pine? Yes.
Who's playing a pally here. He's playing a paladin, and like there's some fun like back and forth here throughout the trailer. They're just really fun because of the classes they represent and what they stand for. It's just really fun stuff. So I'm excited, but I also think this is the perfect thing to bring new people who maybe have been either too intimidated or just haven't ever gotten around to it or whatever, into this world, and show them why it's so cool. So very excited
is this a theatrical release?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no months to thank you, comic book. Yes, Renee Jean Page. So
wait, this is I thought it was a show.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a theatrical movie. So that's all.
Wow.
Just like, okay.
Whoa, that's a lot to get into, like, one thing.
Right. So that's the important thing, right? Is that if you don't care about this group and you don't like the team assembly thing, then you're not going to care about the other stuff. You need to be able to care about them. So that's why from what we saw in this trailer I thought did a good job of like showcasing some of that. Yeah. So I hope we see that. Plus, it is by the excellent Paramount.
We love you, Paramount. We love
As Kofi would say. It is by the excellent company Paramount. You know,
I'm really proud of Paramount. Between Halo and this, like, I feel like they're on a roll a little bit.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead too. Like
Beavis and Butt. Yes.
Oh, yep, yes. Exactly.
Keep bringing us content. We want it. All right. What's next?
We're going to move into. They also released into a little bit of Marvel. They released the first clip from Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Now this is a show. Is moving back onto the show front. Look, you never know exactly what type of aesthetic they're gonna take. Yeah. Disney has actually kind of gone across the board a bit and has done a lot of very different takes on their characters when it comes to animation. High Modoc, like they're willing to kind of take risks and stuff. I love this aesthetic. This is like right up my alley. This kind of like super stylized, kind of big expressions, and it's also perfect for these two characters. Like it's a perfect thing for this kind of fun. It looks like it very wears its heart on its sleeve. Super fun, super aware of itself. I love this. I want to see more stuff like this. But did this kind of hook you a little bit? This kind of make you excited for this?
Nick.
I can't wait to see it. Like, I can't wait to. I have a lot of kids in my house, like basically at all times, for various reasons, and I can't wait to use that as the excuse for me to watch it.
I love that.
I probably won't actively seek this one out, but I'll watch like an entire season when it hits Disney Plus. I'll watch it when these kids in my house are watching it. And it's the same thing. Like, action cartoons are great when they're bold. They have very fierce character designs, and it's already looking like that here. So I can't wait to see how the entire package plays out.
Yeah, this is so not up my alley in any way, shape, or form. Like, the humor wasn't interesting to me. I don't like the style of the animation. I already don't really love animated stuff anyways.
Yeah, that's never been your bag.
I'm the negative Nancy today. It looks really cute for kids though. Like, I loved the timing, the pacing. Like, it was cute. It was cute, but I am so past this. Like, this is just child J-dubs.
I will lift us up out of that negative spot there. But that's good though. Look, that's why we work here. Okay, we all like different things. Yes. Everybody knows that probably saw this and went, "Oh yeah, Matt's gonna watch that."
I will watch it if Matt makes me watch it. What I'm saying. Like, okay. It's up to Matt for me to watch.
Here's the thing: I can't get Kofi to watch iCarly. So I don't know.
I will watch iCarly for you, Matt. I will watch any of the stuff you tell me to. You know I will. I'll read whatever comic books. I am in it. I will at least try. Right? That's the name of the game.
I would say at least try this first episode whenever it hits, because there are still a lot of questions I have about it. Are there going to be 15-minute episodes? You know, a lot of the times you get 30-minute segments, but it's like 2 15-minute halves. So is it going to be set up like that? Is it going to be a full 30? Is it going to be a serialized narrative? Or is it every week you see something different? So Disney has a wide range of that now. They have they had the Owl House, Amphibia, all these good shows that were serialized, but also had episodic storytelling. So it really depends what happens here. So I would say, just to Janelle too, and to Matt, to the both of you, just to check out as the one defending cartoons here, I would say check out this first episode, see where you're at, because the first episode will tell you everything about the tone, everything about what to expect, and then from there, if you decide to, watch another one. If not, then it's okay. It's okay. There will be tons of tiny little eyes watching this.
Oh, I love that.
Very true. Also, yes, Emma, iCarly rules. So try and get more people on that bandwagon. We're gonna move into this. This is very much, by the way, I've seen it mentioned a couple times. This is very much Matt's agenda of the podcast, because we're about to roll into after much asking on my part of, hey, we ever going to get a sequel to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because that ruled and that was one of the coolest comic crossovers ever. Boom, shakalaka, they announced that we are indeed getting Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the sequel series. And the best part is it's coming later this year. It actually hits in December, my birthday month, and Christmas. Wow, look at that. It's shaving up, man. And it is, of course, going to be done by the same creative team that did such a great job with the first one, Ryan Parrott and Dan Moore. So I am very excited. They announced that. That was a big one. You can check out more of that information right here on Comicbook.com. Also, in the Masters of the Universe world, they got a big, a little surprise here. Kevin Smith was hosting a panel for Masters of the Universe Revolution at Comic-Con, and then William Shatner just showed up.
It's so weird, right?
Hey, everybody loves, like, hey, why not, right? If you're gonna have a surprise, go ahead and have that. So yeah, people were kind of losing their minds that William Shatner and Mark Hamill are working on a Masters of the of the Universe project. Now, William Shatner will have a role in this upcoming Revolution. It has not been revealed what that role is yet, so we don't have many details. But just the fact that, you know, someone of like that Shatner should jumping into that whole realm anyway is going to be fun. I've enjoyed Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe stuff so far. I've actually really enjoyed that. I know it's been divisive in some circles, but I've liked the chances it's taking, and I actually really enjoy the animation overall. So yeah, this is great for me. But what do you guys think?
I'm once again defending animation here on the show. I'm glad I'm here this week. It works out. Yeah, Revelation was great. It does make some wild like choices. It takes some wild swings, and I can't wait to see what the follow-up is, because Revolution is being teased as like a sequel series rather than a season 2 to Revelation. So, and for those who saw how Revelation ended, there was a big tease for like a major key like She-Ra, He-Man villain universe thing going. So I'm hoping Shatner turns out that way. But if not, I'm excited to see where he ends up. I'm excited for Revolution. Bring me more. Just as Janelle said, more content. I'm down, absolutely down for more content, please.
Yeah, I'm all about this. Any throwback, like any call to like my childhood makes me really excited, and like I always have faith in it. I really don't get very critical unless it is just terrible. So some of the people that are really critical on this, I'm just kind of like, what it's doing the thing. It's there. Like, be happy for it. Like, I don't understand why people hate on it. But I am looking forward to it. It's the internet. Oh, are you talking about Kofi?
No,
in the chat.
I just loved your it's doing the thing.
It's doing the thing. It's trying its best. The fact that it's even there for us as adults is like out of this world. Like, it's awesome. So
that quote just made me laugh. That was great.
It's doing it. But anyways, I'm looking forward to it. You guys are definitely more of experts on this. This isn't something that I watch. Like, I'm not like vigilant. I just kind of throw it on if I'm, doing laundry or something. But again, like, I can do that and it's enjoyable. So I am looking forward to the next one.
And as Janelle said, we shouldn't make mention here. Kofi up in the comments about to go host his Paramount Plus Star Trek panel. Super jelly there. He's gonna
Congrats, Kofi. That's amazing. Hold it down.
Looking forward to hopefully all the big news that's coming out of that. Lots of Star Trek stuff happening, and it's the reason why I'm jumping in after so long of like just not really being a Star Trek guy. I'm jumping into that world because they've just been killing it with new stuff, and I can't ignore it anymore. I can't ignore it. I gotta watch the great Star Trek stuff that you can find on Paramount Plus.
Love it.
There it is. Real quick before we move into the next, I'm not subtle with it at all. Before we move into the next thing here, because we got lots to talk about with Marvel and everything, there was a little bit of breaking news this morning in the WWE side of things. So Triple H has been announced that effective immediately, he will be resuming his executive position as EVP of Talent Relations. He released a tweet, proud and honored to work with the best talent in the world. They did a quote that said, he said in the statement, "I'm healthy, fired up, and ready to take charge." Triple H initially, has kind of been out of the mix in the corporate side of things for a bit, just because of health issues. There was a scary time there where he just, he didn't recover as quickly as he thought. And he went on and did an interview, kind of dove into how serious it got for a while. And then recently at WrestleMania, he did kind of the famous "I'm back," and people were really excited, but then it didn't really seem like he was in the mix yet and handling some of that stuff. And now this is very much a push to, hey, I'm moving back into that bigger position. Obviously, we know all the stuff that's going on with Vince right now. So Stephanie McMahon is now currently CEO of WWE. Stephanie McMahon is also Triple H's wife. They're married, right? So it's a good new day for this power couple, and also for Triple H. People are very excited to see Triple H involved in things, because honestly, some of the things I love the most from WWE over the last 10 years, Triple H had a lot to do with a bunch of those. So
yeah, I mean, there's no getting away around that, right? Like it's going to be a noticeable change, that is for sure. So it's same thing. I'm excited to see where it ends up. I'm very excited.
And by the way, next week, as a little tease, is SummerSlam. And we will be having a big preview with all the stuff that'll come during Comic-Con and after Comic-Con, plus all the wrestling talk of SummerSlam and everything that comes with that. So next week's show is also going to be huge. So look forward to that. So we're going to take a quick ad break here, pay some bills. And then when we come back, we will dive into our Marvel Hall H predictions. So stick around. Please. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I was singing, it's probably good that I was still muted there, I think, because I was singing Welcome Back. And I don't know if we have the money to pay for that sample. So whatever, it's good. I'll sing the Welcome Back Mace version because, like, there's no way we get charged for that, right? No one listens to that.
You never know.
So let's move into some big predictions. Of course, one of the biggest panels of San Diego Comic-Con is Marvel's return to Comic-Con. It is a straight up Marvel panel, so there's no Star Wars, there's no Disney. This is straight up Marvel. Everyone's I've seen some wild takes. I've seen some more conservative takes. We do have to mention that, of course, D23 is looming. So, you know, Disney is probably going to save some things and some big reveals for its own conference. So that's kind of led me to be a little bit more on the conservative side as far as my predictions. But we're going to start with Janelle, then we're going to move to Nick, and then we're going to move to me.
Oh,
okay.
Janelle, what are your predictions?
Yeah, I feel like my predictions are pretty obvious. Like, it's all of the stuff that we know are coming out like very, very, very soon. And I even like withheld one of them so that one of you could cover it. But like, obviously, I am hoping for She-Hulk. Or anything from I Am Groot, because I know that these are like close on the horizon. And for me, I know that She-Hulk is getting so much flack. People are so critical, but I am really looking forward to She-Hulk personally. So I'm most personally wanting to see that. Like, that's what I really want to see the most. And then, of course, if there is any Guardians of the Galaxy holiday tease, that would just be a massive bonus for myself. Like, I'm a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan. Like, my dog's name is Yondu, and I just am so anything Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like all about. So Groot, which obviously is also Guardians, holiday tease, and then of course She-Hulk. If there's nothing She-Hulk, I don't know. Like, it's so close. How could they not? Right?
Yeah.
It's so hard to predict because I know what they're doing. They're going to save so much for their own reveals that I just don't. It's so hard because I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think, Nick?
So I followed the same path you did, Janelle. I aimed low. So that way, it's not full on MJ expect disappointments. You always be disappointed kind of thing. It's well, I just want first looks at the rest of the movies we got coming from Phase 4 that we know of right now. Outside of Fantastic Four, which is I'm pretty sure the biggest swing that anyone could take with that. I want to see. I'm saying first look because I'll be fine with the teaser, a poster, a new costume image, anything like a concept art. I'll take concept art of like Wakanda Forever, the Marvels, and Quantumania. I want to see how these things are shaping up because after Miss Marvel, who even knows what's going on from here on out? It's so exciting, and I'll be fine with just give me little things. I'm not asking for trailers. I'm not going big. I'm not asking for teasers.
Dude, I'd love a tease of Agatha, but it's not happening.
Who knows? That's the other thing too. That's what people are having fun with. But what do you think, Matt? Where are you sitting?
Oh man. Okay, so I think we could. I think you're right. Number one, and it's also been mentioned in the comments a lot. I agree with you. She-Hulk seems to be the one that is going to get some welcome spotlight, which is great because I am so looking forward to that series. I think the CG issues that the first trailer had ended up kind of dominating some of the pockets of discussion about the show when the show itself looks amazing. And but unfortunately that it was out there, right? So, and then it didn't help that like all the Marvel VFX drama came out not too long ago, so that restirred all of it up, right? So here is your chance to set the stage and go, all right, let's make another impression and kind of move that discussion forward and get the focus back on the show because the show looks great. She looks awesome. I'm excited for this, right? So I do think She-Hulk is going to play some part, or at least I hope so. I'm always a sucker for I Am Groot. I'm a sucker for Groot in general. Of the Marvels, I think with Miss Marvel just ending and having the cap button on that and everything, I don't know what else we could really get at this point with how far Marvel's is still, being next year. However, do I hope we see some kind of fun tease or clip? Yes, that is what I hope to see. That's more in my hope than I predict, but still, it's in here, so I'm predicting. See something from the Marvels, just something fun, nothing huge, but just something fun. Maybe some concept art, right? Of like we really have yet to see Teyonah Parris really featured in stuff, right? We've seen it all kind of center around Bree and Iman. So it would be cool to see Monica get some shine there, maybe in some concept art of like showing what maybe her suit could look like or something like that. That would be cool. Let's get some Monica love in there, right? If we're going to do anything. My biggest thing is I think we get, so one of the ones I've been actually really looking forward to is X-Men 97. They have said they are going to reveal something about it. I'm hoping that's a first look like at the animation and like, something, maybe it's just a first clip or something like that to where we really get a look at that. Cause I'm very excited about that. And they have confirmed that they're doing something at that panel. So, or at the Marvel animation panel, at least, maybe not the Hall H one, but either way, I'm excited for that.
I'm curious to see what it's going to look like.
Right.
No. But no, because the original image, the announcement image was the 2D cast and the 2D designs, but is it going to be a full 2D series?
Right.
We get to see that, right? So that's exciting.
Just recently watching 97, because it's right here on Disney Plus, right? Like having it in my brain and not one of those things like, oh, well, remember how it used to look, but in your rose-colored glasses. Like I remember how it looked now because I have it, right? So I am curious to see if they keep a little bit of that aesthetic, even though animation in general has improved. What I will say is the original X-Men series still, even compared to some modern animation, still stands up in a lot of ways. There's some really weird bits, obviously, too, but it's still overall, there's still a lot of good in that show, animation wise. I will say the biggest things I'm going to say are the one that's a little far out there. I will say the Russo's next project is announced for Marvel. Nothing else. Like, I don't even know if you get a logo. I don't know if you even get anything like that. I don't even know if this is Disney Plus Day or whatever. You don't even get a logo. Like, that's it. Like it's just, hey, this is what we're doing. And whether that be Fantastic Four, whether that be the mutants, whether that be whatever, maybe we get just the thing of that. And then at D23, they can actually release something. Maybe we get a logo or something like that.
What if it's just, the Russo bros are coming back for something? What if that's
or
all
that,
we get?
That might be it.
Would that be enough for you?
That,
like, okay.
For as general as I think this needs to be, probably, yeah. I think that I'll suffice for that and say, like, yeah, that counts. Because just the fact that they're back on board would be a huge announcement of itself coming from Marvel and confirming it at a Comic-Con. And then everyone can run wild with the theories. So I will say yes, that'll be my thing. They're just coming back for something. And then something Thunderbolts related, whether that's a casting, just like one casting, or it's a logo, or it's you know, hey, here's our vision, or something Thunderbolts related. That would be the other thing. Because like to me, those are all like, they're big in them of themselves, but they're not like earth-shattering big that it would take away from whatever they got planned at D23. Because I think honestly, they save anything earth-shattering for D23.
Zemo, let's go.
Yeah, man.
Baron Zemo dancing on stage would be a big deal.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be awesome, and let's hope that happens. Please let that hope of that. Anything else that kind of slipped in that you guys think we'll get, or even that you want? Is there a dream thing you guys want?
Agatha.
Agatha.
As I said, I'd love some Agatha.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to see more House of Harkness, see where that's coming from, or just like I'd love like some cast additions, some like I would love confirmations of things, right?
Can
like
I just throw Doctor Strange and everything? That'd make me happy.
Why not?
Just more Doctor Strange, just everywhere. that would be dream.
I need a hint of Nova. I need a hint of Darkhawk. And I need I won't get any of the other ones. What I would say, and if this were a Sony panel, I would say maybe there would be, but it's not. It's a straight up Marvel one. So I just need someone to talk to me about Spider-Woman, please.
Here we go.
What the hell's happening with the Spider-Woman movie?
I love it.
I just need someone to tell me what's going on with
Black Cat before Spider-Woman, aren't we?
I thought you were going to plug Morbius 2, which I was going to say, yes, me too. I would love a sequel. Give me more
if we're
Morbius.
going dream scenario, how about like a Yondu origin story? Like,
I'm down for that.
Like, if we're really going dream scenario,
I mean, Disney Plus needs its shows, and I would watch a Yondu series.
That would be really cool, right?
Yeah.
It would be really.
I'd watch a Cosmos series.
How did he get that way? Yeah. I love it.
So that is the Marvel panel here. We have high hopes. We have more reserve hopes. We've got the thing is wide. So hopefully we'll be able to tell you more about it next week, and we'll weigh in on if any of these things happen. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's move into some movie news. The big thing that's out this week is Jordan Peele's Nope. And it's a movie that I am very excited to see, actually. I've somehow avoided spoilers and of, any twists or anything like that.
Yeah.
This is one of the few things that I actually care about that. Most times I don't anymore, but this is actually one of the ones that I kind of want to try and see it cold without hearing what's happening. Nick saw it. Nick had the chance to see it. So, in your most non-spoilery of ways, what can you tell us? What do you think?
Right. That's the thing. There's so much I want to talk about that I cannot, because what I can say immediately off the bat is just, it's best if you don't know anything about it. Honestly, maybe if you saw like the debut trailer and that's it. I think even if you saw like the most recent one, that might have been too much. It's a movie where you learn about the thing as they are learning about the thing, whatever the thing is. So it's kind of like I like even try to compare it to something is almost spoiling it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's sort of like Jaws, where you don't know what's there's something, there's something weird about the area, you know there might be a thing, but you don't know what that thing looks like. You don't know what kind of danger it presents, and then it happens. And once it happens, it's no holds barred. Everything, like, it's there. There is a moment in there where I felt genuine terror. Like, it's something I don't think I've ever, like, it's been a while since I've sat in a movie and like had to take a deep breath, because there's one scene where I was like, oh,
Oh my God.
yeah. Yeah, it's wild, and it's, you know, it's not perfect. There are some issues with the characters and how it sets things up in its world, but once it gets into the thick of it, it's just go, 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 and it's really good. And like the cast is great. Keke Palmer, especially, like, we already knew she was talented, but here it's like, all right, it's okay. Like, well, I'm ready for this level of Keke Palmer. I'm ready for her to break through and try like some really, really deep and intense things. Like, I can't wait. It's an exciting movie for that reason altogether. And it's probably, if you want something unique, go check out Nope. That's what I'll say. It's a big yep from me.
Oh, I love that. Oh, it's awesome.
How the hell was that not our review headline? How was that not it? Oh man, I am excited. I will say, so this has been the thing with Peele's movies, right? Did you see Us, and would you put this ahead, below that? Or where does this sit with Get Out? Like,
that's what's tough, you know, because Get Out and Us are very high concept, and it's the same thing with Nope. There is a very, very high concept kind of idea. But in Get Out and Us, it really depends on how you felt about how that concept was married to the actual horror of the story and the actual creature of the movies themselves. So with Nope, I felt it was successful in that regard. And almost like I didn't really catch whether or not there's an overall message to be told in the movie. I was talking with a buddy who also saw it. We were trying to actually figure that out. But as of right now, I like Nope more than Us, but I'll probably put it less than Get Out in terms of experience. Okay. So,
I mean, Get Out
but Nope
classic,
is, yeah.
So, you know,
that's the other thing too.
Bad.
Get Out is good. So it's like, well, like Get Out is like super, super good. So, you know, but go see Nope.
Are you going to are you down to see Nope? Are you invested in the Jordan Peele verse?
Yeah. I don't like horror. It's not my jam. Because I'd get so scared. Like, I can't sleep. But I also like put myself through it when it's something that is very notable or just really like getting crazy reviews. And this seems to be one of those things where I'm just going to have to grit my teeth and bear it. I don't know if I'll see it in the theater because I get really scared. But I don't know. Like, if I had some friends and they were like, hey, we're going, you better go with us, I'd go, okay. But I don't know if I will seek it out. Regardless, like, it sounds brilliant, beautiful. The trailer was amazing. Stephen Yen is in there, and I just love him so much from The Walking Dead. So I have to watch anything he's in, basically. So I will be seeing it. I just don't know if it's going to be in the theater or not. Probably, maybe, but it looks gorgeous. Like, it looks awesome. And the acting, like you said, looks awesome. Just from the trailer, I was intrigued right away.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. Now, moving into something that Janelle has seen that I have not seen. I did not get a chance to catch up. This is my fault. I didn't get a chance to catch up on Westworld.
Oh my God.
But you were so excited to talk Westworld. I would not deprive you of the opportunity to talk Westworld.
I can't even remember what happened in this episode because I watch it the day it comes out. Like, I watch it at like 8 p.m. like HBO. Let's go. Wait, Nick, do you watch Westworld?
No, I'm completely out of the loop on this one. Yeah.
I'm going to go spoiler free because I don't want to ruin this for you guys, but I'm just going to say that Westworld started off as one of my favorite shows of all time. Season 1, I was legit replacing The Walking Dead. Like, that's how much I loved this show. So it was going Doctor Who, Westworld. zombies. So, and then I kind of fell off. I feel like it just the storyline. If you don't know, I feel like everybody knows, but if you don't know, it's kind of like a theme park, Disney World gone crazy in the future with robots and AI and things like that. And all of the things that make humans terrible. We live out all of our fantasies. And of course, our fantasies are not to live a happy, lovely life and do wonderful things. It's to do terrible, terrible things to these AI. Because deep down we're all terrible humans. So I mean, it's true. It's so sad. It's so sad. And knowing that going forward, I feel like this AI it's a learning system and it understands and it sees the example of the humans that do what they do to them, and they realize like, okay, wow, like humans suck. Like they're terrible, and we need to like replace them. Like they're actually really bad for the planet, for existence. Like they suck. So you have to kind of, or at least I do, I kind of relate to the AI of this. I kind of relate that like, yes, we do have a lot of moles. Like we're not great as a species at times. And if you're exposed to just like the worst of us, like you're gonna think that we are awful. So I feel like that really comes to a head in this season, and it is presented just really, really cool. I didn't have high expectations, and I didn't think we were going to talk about it on the podcast for this season. And then when Kofi started to freak out about it, I was like, thank God, like it's so good. We're coming back, because this is such a good sci-fi thriller. Like this is such a good show, and the acting is so good. These actors are like monsters. Like they're big actors now, and they're doing such a great job, and there is so much to be seen coming up. Like this season is about to take off. This last episode there was like a bomb dropped, and it was like, okay, we're about to go into like high octane action and thrills, and I definitely think that this is going to be worth watching. If you kind of fell off because the first season was so cool and then the second season I would say get back into it. It's worth it. It really is. This season is really starting to nail it, and just when you think they can't go anywhere else with the story, they're going places with the story, and it's interesting. It's really cool.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's worth powering through seasons 2 and 3.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I really feel like with Westworld season 2, season 3, like I feel like it would probably be more enjoyable in a binge situation anyways. I really think that you have to have like a Stranger Things type of hype to continue week to week to week to week. Like Stranger Things could have done weekly episodes if they wanted to this season, but this happens season 2, season 3, sometimes in a lot of series. Like it kind of other things outshine it, and this is finally coming back. Like it really is. So I think it's worth it, especially if you love like the aesthetic, like the modern stuff, the futuristic stuff. And, I've said this so many times, I don't even care. I'm a conspiracy theorist. We're going to die to AI. Like they're going to take over. Like they are. So if you're wondering how that happens, watch Westworld. Like it's either that or global warming will take us all out. So
that took us to a very dark place.
Please
I'm not gonna lie.
like, guys,
not gonna lie.
Stop
that took
eating
us
cows.
to a very dark place. I did not see Westworld taking us there. But
it's definitely like, yeah, I can see it. Like that's the thing that I love about the show is like I watch it and I'm like, I can see this happening. It's wild. Yeah,
man.
Skynet.
So here's the thing. I just need Stranger Things season 5.
Me too.
Is what I need.
Yep.
Because I've now rewatched the entire season of 4
Wow.
because I was so hyped after season 4 and walking around here just like spewing, like just like, oh my God, I gotta talk about this all the time, right? Anissa was like, what? Okay, I'm gonna give this show a third shot, because she had tried to watch the first episode of the first season like twice before and just like didn't click with her. And so she's like, okay, is it really like worth it? I was like, yes, it is worth it. Yes, it's worth it. Watch it. So she has binged in, okay, so when did the finale hit? 3 weeks ago?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was like last month or something. Like
Last month.
I don't even know what is time.
Since that time, since 3 days after that time, She has binged the entire series.
Good. Yes, girl.
She's on the finale of season 4.
Let's go.
Like,
That's
and
how
she's
that's
just
how Netflix gets you.
and
Yep.
she only is not watching that just because she wants to savor it. So she's trying to find like a 2.5 hour spot to really just watch the whole thing and not have to break it up into parts. So like she is in. I got her hooked. She's like, she keeps asking me, are they filming? Are they filming yet? I'm like, okay, that's when you know you've got someone, is when that happens. So I just need Stranger Things season 5. That's what I really need. But yeah, so Westworld. All right, we're hopping back on. Maybe I need to catch up on that too. So much TV to get caught up on. So it's such a good time in TV land. All right, before we go, of course, we're going to move into some comics. But before we do that, Nick, is there anything in the anime world you wanted to plug? You wanted to give a shout out before we move into that?
Yes, thank you. Check out the Comicbook.com anime page for more, of course. But Dragon Ball Superhero is hitting theaters in August. A new Dragon Ball Super movie. Gohan and Piccolo are going at it. Wait, they're doing their thing. See, we have a new Bleach coming this fall. A new Trigun series coming next year. The Adult Swim has Primal going on right now. Tuca and Birdie. A new Rick and Morty season's coming later this year. There are a ton of things happening. A new Chainsaw Man anime, Chainsaw Man manga back. It's an exciting time, so please check out the anime page for all that good stuff. We've got everything you need, all the updates.
I know nothing about Chainsaw Man, but just the name has me intrigued, and I've seen a bunch of art and stuff like popping up on my timeline of Chainsaw Man. I'm like, okay, I know nothing about this, but I feel like I should do more. I should do some research. I feel like I should jump on that end of the pool.
Yeah, it's a bloody and brutal like monster slaying series.
Oh man, that sounds like my jam. Oh damn it! I don't need another thing. Okay, well there you go. Yes, so definitely check out. Nick is always killing it on our anime side. So definitely check that out on Comicbook.com. All right, so let's get into some comics. We have in our ongoing book here. It will end one day, but I do not want that time to come because Batman the Knight has been fantastic, and we're going to be talking Batman the Knight number 7. I just felt like as my voice wanes, it feels like I'm going more and more into the cinematic. So this one, look, it is no secret. I enjoy Batman stories 10 times more when it's Batman and Zatanna. If you put Zatanna into pretty much anything, I'm gonna at least like give it a shot. I'm a big Zatanna fan. I love the world of magic just in general, right? Justice League Dark, all that stuff. So Batman the Knight is like a dream come true. It's Bruce heading into this thing, learning from her dad, actually, John Zatara. But then early on, like Zatanna makes her presence felt, and then we get this awesome back and forth between them. If you've been reading Batman Urban Legends, probably in the last couple of months, there was a really well done Batman Zatanna story there as well that I really enjoyed. And so anytime they get together, just it's great. It's great. So this was gorgeous as always, but he's trying to learn magic and he's trying to learn about the price of magic more specifically. I just enjoy this series so much just because the way it breaks things down and explores. And here, what's awesome is we get this really not often explored link between Zatara and his parents, right? Because he knew them on a different level. And the way this book closes out is it's wonderful. Like I love the last couple pages of this book so much, both from Zatanna and Zatara's viewpoint of Bruce. But the series has I cannot wait to see someone adapt this in the TV or a movie. But what do you guys think of the issue?
Nick, you can go first.
Oh no, I'm not caught up with 7, so I can't speak too much of the newest issue. But the arc itself has been great. I love seeing him come from the ground up, and it's very like I don't know. It feels unique in terms of these origin and training and all these stories we've seen over the years. So that's my piece on it.
That's difficult too. Like it's very hard to keep making Batman unique somehow. Golly, there's so much Batman. Like it's almost like too much. Yeah. but Matt, you're winning me over with these because this is something very, very special. And I really feel like every book just keeps getting better and better. I think this one's my favorite so far, completely. I definitely thought I was looking at Doctor Strange at times, but that's fine. Like, okay, you can put the little gold circles on the hands. But I love magic and mysticism. And now knowing that Bruce had some type of dabble in it fires me up about Batman. Like, I'm like, wait, what? You know magic's real? You're acknowledging that it's real? Like, you thought about possibly like getting into magic and you decided against it for reasons that I don't want to spoil. Oh my gosh, like that alone, just him acknowledging and like being invested in magic, that alone is just like awesome for Batman. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I agree. And that moment, I won't spoil that moment either, but it's such a great moment because it's tied to who he is as just a person, but also like who Batman is supposed to be, this ideal, right, that he holds for himself. And that's why he doesn't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was that
So cool.
whole ending sequence is fantastic. And it's just people talking. There's no action.
That's so true.
It's just people talking. It's amazing what you can do when there's amazing dialogue. So yeah, Batman the Night. There is a lot of Batman, and they just announced a new Batman series. I think it's a prequel. I can't remember off the top
I
of my
don't
head.
think I'm as annoyed with Batman anymore, man. I think I've gotten over that
That's
because
good.
you forced me to read X-Men.
Oh, that's a good counterbalance. Well, speaking of the X-Men, let's move into our next book. AXE Judgment Day #1. This is the long talked about. Yes, Tom King, Gotham Year One. Thank you. I do love Tom King, Brightwood. So don't take that. I will give anything Tom King reads a shot, whether I like it or not. Always depends on, remains to be seen. But I will always give it a shot. That said, it's like, we need another Batman book? Probably not. But hey, this one's got to end at some point, so you guys get something to fill the gap. So let's move into Judgment Day. This is the long talked about battle between, or the war, I should say, between the X-Men and the Eternals, and then the Avengers right in the middle. They're just right in between. And they did a free, they did kind of a primer issue that set some of the things in motion. But I thought here they actually did a really good job of giving you enough. Like you got the critical details for what you need to know about who these people are, who these characters are, who one specific big character is. And here's my thing. So far, one, I trust Kieran Gillen. Once in the Future is one of my favorite books, like ever. Like ever at this point. He's written a bunch of other great stuff too. But like, I will always give him the benefit of the doubt. So the fact that he's on this and shepherding this along, I have a lot of faith. So, but when this was first announced, I was like, oh my God, it's like A versus X all over again. Because A versus X, I will harp on, is one of like the worst events of all time. I think sucked. I did not like that. It was so ham-fisted of why they're fighting, and people are acting out of character, and I hate that stuff. I hate when people act out of character for plot purposes. Okay, like that shouldn't happen. It shouldn't turn on a dime, right? Unless you're wrestling, and then you can do it. It's fine. So thought I should put that caveat in there. So here we get, I think, you still have things that, like, you still have puzzle pieces being pushed on the board that maybe are being pushed a little further outside what you would expect. Like, someone, to me here, clearly is the villain. And so we're going to get into spoilers now. I've been walking around it as much as I can. So we're going to get into spoilers now. Mm-hmm. So the Eternals, to me, I will say one side of the Eternals, because they are split, which I think was smart. I think that's actually how you balance out. Because typically what you want in these type of events, you want to be able to identify with both sides as to, like, understand why they're doing what they're doing. Whether you agree or not, you want to be at least able to, like, understand and have some basis in reasoning, right? So, like with Civil War 2, that's why Civil War sometimes is lopsided, because as much as I love that series, Iron Man is clearly the villain. I don't know how anyone comes out of that and goes, oh, Iron Man wasn't wrong. There are people, and you people are wrong. There's no way that Iron Man wasn't wrong. So, and in Civil War 2, right, they made Captain Marvel that, and you're like, no, Captain Marvel's wrong. Like, Iron Man's clearly right. So it's hard to do that. It's hard to balance. Here, the one part of the Eternals, to me, is clearly wrong. Like, they are not in the right. But I think that what they smartly did was they split the Eternals so that there's this kind of faction of them that are kind of on their own thing and are working with the Avengers to kind of stop the war. So you don't end up like painting all of the Eternals with one brush. I think that was brilliant, because then you're not just outright villainizing all of them. You're only villainizing the ones that are in this group. And then the X-Men have their own foibles and stuff, but like they're just defending themselves. Like that's all they're doing. Like they didn't ask for any of this really. Like it. So anyway, I think what you have by the end is a really compelling, we're left in a very compelling place for this war. And I honestly thought it would be hard to do that, to get all these pieces and puzzle pieces to work together to where like I cared about a war and it didn't just feel like a cash grab. It doesn't feel like that at all. And I'm left in a place. Now, so some people have mentioned, is it Uranus or Uranus? Because I've heard both. And I am not about to sit up here and say that 90 times the wrong way and have that memed for eternity. So let's just say Thanos' grandpappy, his grandfather, is like this huge wild card that we have that looks to be kind of positioned probably as the overall villain, right? So there's a lot of really big pieces moving here. And there's a lot of really potential stuff for kind of the future of how the X-Men are defined, how mutants are defined. There's a lot of big stuff here. But I was compelled. By the end of this, I went, okay, I'm in. You got me. You hooked me. You're in. Thank you for the phonetic.
Uranus.
Yeah. Thank you, Damon. So yeah, I feel like I came out really impressed, despite the fact that I was kind of, I don't know, going in. What did you think, Janelle?
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff happening here.
There's a lot.
I will say that like you have to just know some of this. Like if you don't know who the Eternals are and like where they came from and how powerful they are and why they're here, and if you don't have any kind of backstory on the Eternals, I just really don't see how you could even be interested in this at all. Like I was just putting myself in this place of like, had I not read the entire beginning and like start of Eternals before that movie came out,
yeah, that's right.
I would have been so lost and like, why do they even care? Like, who are they? How do they relate to humans? Why are they defending humans from mutants? Like, I would just be so confused. Luckily, I wasn't. So therefore, I enjoyed it. like I was like, oh, snap. Like, oh, it's so cool to see the Eternals here. Like, I actually love the Eternals in the comics. I understand that the movie has like a lot of weird backlash, and honestly, second time I watched it, I was kind of like, okay, why did I like this so much the first time? But I really like the Eternals, and I am that weird person that doesn't have the backstory of mutants as much, so therefore I'm always team humans. And so I am kind of team Eternals, and so it's really interesting.
Damn it, Janelle.
I know. The mutants are just like I'm so annoyed with them. They were like, we get to live forever. Like they just kind of annoy me. And so I think that is definitely coming from someone who doesn't have the background with the X-Men, with mutants, to understand what all happened to them, what made them start their like Krakoa like planet and their own thing, and to be so far removed from humans, and how some of them hate humans and some of them want to protect them. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot, but I'm getting there slowly. It's starting to pay off, and I am enjoying these books. They're just so long. God, they're so long.
Yeah, no, this one's, I mean, okay, to be fair, this one's a little bit even more dense and longer than usual, but it has to be. But Nick,
Yeah.
what'd you think?
No, dense is the right word. I'm the one jumping in at the deep end here. I'm the one you're dancing around about, who has no knowledge of going into any of this. So
Okay.
it was a lot of things I learned at one time. Like, oh, the mutants can't die. Oh, the Eternals are in two factions. Oh, the Eternals have a connection with the Avengers. Oh, there's Thanos has a grandfather that's doing
Grandpappy.
Yeah,
Grandpapa Thanos.
So it was a lot of information I had to take in at once. At the same time, I did get a lot of the hype, so it's like there are cool lines in this, like we're the new gods,
Yes,
time to get rid of the old, and there are choice moments like that while I was reading, and it looks cool, just the fight scenes already look great, it looks great looking at it. I don't get all of it, but hey, I mean, I'm glad everyone else is enjoying it. Have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun, everybody.
I will say
we'll get there.
I will say Nick brought up a great point. And I actually saw I think it was Damon. Let's see. I think it was you that pointed out. I haven't read all the X books. So the Moira part kind of blew your mind. The Moira part I love because that makes all the sense. And again, it ties. They do a really good job of tying it into all the stuff that was going on in
Moira.
X-Men.
You're right. Yeah. Wow.
That was such a great moment, and it makes so much sense. Yeah, right, exactly. And then you have the Iraqi layer that we didn't even touch on.
I don't know that layer. So,
they sever the gates to Mars, and so now they have a hard time getting to their other outposts, right? And that's a huge nation of because you got to think too.
And they make it Mars, Matt.
They make a good point of illuminating that Krakoa is still mutants are still only around 200,000. There's 200,000 people on Krakoa, but on Iraqi, it's 1 million. It's a huge base, and these people were. Moria actually makes a great point. She's most of the people, I forget the percentage, but she's most of the people on Krakoa, their powers, kind of at its height are kind of things that might give you a rash or might bug you or whatever. The Omega level mutants are kind of a smaller number. Iraqi, these people have been bred in battles and war for years and years and years. So there are a considerable force. So removing the connection there helps the Eternals in a huge way. So there's some really cool puzzle pieces moving back and forth. Mm-hmm. I dug that. I like the Cersei tie to Avengers being looked at and having this offshoot of the Eternals that I can actually maybe root for because I am Team Mutant. I'm always Team Mutant all the way, unless when Beast is involved, he sucks, so he always sways me. But yeah, no, I really came away just impressed with how they handled it. So let's move into something a little bit on the not lighter really, but lighter than Judgment Day. Let's move into the poll winner, which was Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings, #1. This is a new series, but still kind of picking up on a lot of the tethers from the previous series we read. Shang-Chi is still leading the 5 Weapon Society, but his siblings have gone on to kind of hold court across the globe, right? Because they're a global organization. So he's really just kind of by himself now, which is kind of a bummer because that was one of the things I really loved about that series was that he was interacting with his siblings. And that was fun. But here we still get a really he now has the ring. So there's this mystery about why the rings have kind of come to him, even though he returned them, why the doorway is cut off and he can't seem to move through worlds. And now essentially everyone knows he has the rings. So now it's open season. Everyone wants them. Everyone knows he has them. He's kind of on an island by himself. That's compelling stuff. And so, again, I wouldn't say it's not lighter in the sense of they still deal with some darker themes here, especially the way the rings corrupt and things like that. But it's not as oh my God, the world is ending as Judgment Day and stuff is. But I really enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. As it's the complete opposite experience I had with Judgment Day. I'm jumping into this fresh, and I'm into it. I'm into it so far. It's very slick. It looks cool. Shang-Chi himself is compelling so far. I'm interested to see what these 10 rings will do to him. That whole corruption thing, that's definitely something that pays off, right? Like I want to see what a corrupted Shang-Chi looks like.
Yeah.
So give me that, please. I would love to see it.
Yeah, this is just great. It's pretty and extravagant, and it's a backstory of the rings. And because the movie came out, I have a soft spot for Shang-Chi and this entire world. So getting to know it more just makes me really happy. I wouldn't say it's like a huge oh my gosh, you have to read this, but if you have the time, it's pleasant and nice and enjoyable. So
for sure,
good choice, guys. Good choice.
I think that perfectly described it.
Yeah.
And I was a little bummed
Okay.
because not by the issue, but by the fact that the book that I wanted to win, the poll, did not win. So damn it, I'm going to talk about it anyway.
That's me every time Strange is in there, okay? Strange won once.
So I'm going to mention it now because it was too good not to mention, and that was Dual Powerbomb number 2. Okay. This book rules, and you need to read this book. It was fantastic. And we talked about the first issue, and the second issue is just so good because it starts off from such a crazy place of this alternate dimension Dark Lord being he was banished, he was exiled, right? And so he had nothing to do but he was okay, well, I'm just gonna he got TV, and he just watched what the world watches for TV. And he was I'm bored. He has nothing else to do because he's exiled onto this island. He can't take over his realm and stuff, right? So that's when he discovered wrestling. And he's going through his whole backstory, and he's that's when I discovered professional wrestling. And oh my God, it's so I love it. And so he created his own tournament and his own ring in this undead realm and stuff. And then you get the payoff for what the tournament is about, and it hits you right in the heartstrings because we know from the first issue that she lost her mom. It was an unfortunate accident in the ring, but then they twist that so she has a quest now.
This now. Okay.
Yeah, right. So now she has a quest to okay, I need to be in this tournament, but she needs a partner, and then the person that's gonna be the partner, it throws a whole other wrinkle. And then there's a twist at the end of who that partner is. This book rules.
All right, I'll read it, Matt. You've convinced me. Send it to me.
This book is so good.
Let's
so anyway,
do it.
So
the
I will
agenda
send it to Janelle.
Yeah.
Yes, I will send it to Janelle. It's amazing, and people should be reading this. It's so fun. So yeah, so that's comics. Any shout outs, Janelle, before we head out? Do you want to shout out anything?
Where can anyone tell me where to find the Spice World movie where I can buy it or stream it? That would be really helpful, just because I love the Spice Girls. I've been looking for that for years, and they just don't have it anywhere. Get to me on Twitter at Janelle Wheeler if you know of where I can find this, please, because I've been looking for years.
I think we actually have it on VHS. If you have a,
I know I don't have
VHS player laying around.
I love the Spice Girls. That's my only shout out.
Anissa, one of the things that I hunted down for Anissa, for several birthdays and anniversaries in a row, was all of the original Spice Girl dolls from that movie line.
Oh yeah, I have the Baby Spice ones.
Yeah, so I was just hunting on eBay for a year.
Did you ever find them?
Yeah, I've got them. We got them all.
No!
I got them all.
Oh my God, I need them.
Yeah, they're all sitting. They're all sitting in her display.
Okay.
Nice.
Put me to shame. Anyway.
But yeah, that's this week's show. We're gonna end there. That's a fitting place to end on Comic-Con weekend. Spice Girls. So if you can always catch us here live on Twitch. And by the way, thank you to all the fans who jump in here. Thank you for everybody. Almost everybody, not some of these people in here, but almost everybody.
Wow.
Well, no, I'm shouting out one in particular that probably needs to be banned soon. But everybody in here, thank you so much for always jumping in the conversations. We love it. Thank you for voting on the polls. We appreciate it. This is always just this is one of the highlights of my week every week. So thank you for always jumping in here with us. You can always catch us live on video on Twitch at 11 a.m. CST, Central Standard Time. If you would rather listen On the audio side, we will have our audio podcast version of this up later in the day. You can catch it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We will also stream on Sundays on Paramount Plus, so you can also catch us there. If you want to catch us on demand, you can catch us on the Comicbook.com YouTube page as well, if you want to watch us on demand there. So we're everywhere. We're everywhere. And thank you so much for always taking the time to appreciate the show. We love you guys. And we will be back next week to talk about all the things we didn't cover in Comic-Con.
Yes.
So until then,
Action packed.
peace.
Bye, guys. Thanks.